Oh, we're recording.
Yeah, we're recording. What's
Back
up,
in the
guys?
action.
We are back.
Touche everything. Episode 11.
11, yeah,
Dang, we're really grinding these out.
we are. We've come a long way since the first episode.
Got a new table. We got new mics, new soundboard.
Yeah.
The haters in the comments tell me return my stuff, but guess what? I'm doubling down. I bought more.
Forget you guys.
We're not giving up until maybe we get bored of it
Yeah.
or Wayne moves away from me.
I'll never leave. Don't you worry. I love this place too much.
Dude, so how you feeling today?
Feeling good. As you know, I've just had a pretty minor surgery, but it still sucks.
Wayne got surgery on his butt cheeks.
Yes, I did. I'm not going to go into detail about what, but,
They have to like put you under for that, or do they just like give you a towel to bite on?
No. What? No, they put me under. Like I got there, sat there for like an hour and a half, just like waiting. Had to fill out a bunch of papers and stuff, and the doctors have to come and talk to me, explain the whole situation. And yeah, then like an hour and a half later, I was on the table, and they put me under.
Did the doctor shake your hand and go, in about 15 minutes from now, this hand's gonna be in your butt?
He did not. No. Well, one of the what was it? I can't pronounce it.
Anesthesiologist?
Yeah, they were pretty. That guy was pretty rude. He's a jerk. So
Yeah.
yeah.
In what way?
What did he say? He was like, because I also have like CPAP machine. So
Mhm.
he was like how often do you use it? And I was like, well, I should be using it more, but I don't use it as often. And he was like, I always tell people this, don't make your problems other people's problems. I was like, that's kind of rude.
You're snoring?
Yeah. I was like, I mean, I kind of get it, but still.
He has a valid point.
He does, but I was just like, come on, man.
Does the lady ever complain about your snoring?
No, she can't. She also snores. So, we're in a battle every night.
He's got two battling CPAP machines going.
She doesn't have one, but she definitely needs one, I think. But yeah, no, I'm recovering. So hopefully I should be good next like week and a half, 2 weeks. We'll see.
They give you like those stitches that just dissolve over time. You gotta
No.
go back.
So I have to go back in like, I want to say a week from now or so. Yeah. And then after that, another week so they could like check it out, make sure everything's all right down there.
Gonna have to de-stitch you.
De-stitch
the
me.
cheeks.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that, but I guess we'll see.
I mean, who would be looking forward to that?
I've never had something like, well, it's a minor surgery, but this major, like I had a lot of stitches down there when I checked.
Mm.
So,
Did you ask him how many?
no, I didn't. I should have, but it looked like a lot. I mean, it was a pretty big, incision. So, yeah,
You're gonna be scarred for life from that.
I already have enough scars, but, what's one more?
Did you ever see that show on MTV, Scarred, back in the day?
Yeah, I was like the guys just like completely like wrecking their bodies.
Yeah, like extreme like athletes, skateboarders and
Yeah.
stuff, and just the horrible injuries that they would get.
Dude, I don't know.
I'm surprised they would show that on TV.
Right? I mean, the early 2000s was a different like ball game. It was a
It was
different
kind
era.
of the Wild West,
Yeah.
like when they had thousands way
right.
to pass away.
Like 1,000 Ways to Die.
Yeah. Spike TV was just crazy back in the day.
Right.
They had that show Mansers,
Yeah.
where it'd just be like dudes like explaining things.
Those were good. I think that was like the what's the word I'm looking for? Like the pinnacle of what TV could be like.
That was the peak of
Yeah.
cinematic entertainment.
I think that just
in the
kind of
30-minute form.
that came crashing down right around like the late 2000s.
That show Mansers was like, what's the best way to deal with a fight with your girlfriend? Get another beer and tell her to shut up.
I wonder how many dudes actually follow that.
Guys were just like, yeah, that makes sense.
Get their asses kicked.
What's up? I'm getting another beer.
Right.
Don't talk to me, Jennifer.
But yeah. So did you hear that Oreo is partnering with Post Malone?
Yeah, it was so funny. I
Yeah.
saw he posted it on Instagram, like the flavors that it was like potentially gonna be. People in the comments, just
Right.
like, oh, it's gonna be cigarettes and whiskey,
Cigarettes and whiskey.
chewing tobacco and Bud Light.
Dude, oh my gosh. I don't know. It'd probably be like really aged pants. I think that, or like really like tattoo ink flavor or something. I don't know.
Scraggly facial hair.
But no, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I think
That's what's on your radar of things to look forward to. Post Malone
well,
Oreos.
that's not my only thing.
I've been
that I'm
holding
looking
out.
forward
Thank
to it.
God he finally dropped these.
No, I do love Oreo, so I definitely want to try it out once he figure out the logistics behind it. But I mean,
I think they come out like February 2nd.
really, okay, so it's not too far away.
So this time in 2 weeks, we can be munching on some whiskey Oreos.
Ooh, that's a pretty good flavor. So out of all of this, like, what do you think it's your favorite celebrity inspired?
Celebrity product.
Yeah, like the collabs that they do with like different brands, like McDonald's or like Burger King's.
I'll say that the Travis Scott meal was
Right.
probably the funniest meme when it came out. People pulling up to the drive-thru.
Yeah.
Cactus Jack sent me. The McDonald's worker is just so pissed off.
Yeah.
Why am I dealing with this Travis Scott meal thing?
No, that was an interesting time. There's been a lot since then. I mean,
The merch was fire.
yeah.
McDonald's and like Travis Scott had like merch collab.
Oh, I didn't know.
And
that.
I was like, this is kind of sick.
Right.
Like I wanted to get some of it, but I was like, I think it's sold out and people are reselling it on StockX and Goat for way too much money.
Exorbitant prices.
Just for a t-shirt with like a crazy McDonald's logo on it inspired by Travis Scott.
I don't know, man. People, I think that's the one thing I kind of hate when there's just like such a big hype around like a product and it's just limited quantity. Like people just like going out of their world just to scalp, just make like so much money off of it.
Oh yeah, anything to make $1.
Right.
But I think it's crazy how big Travis Scott has gotten. Like Astroworld was insane. I remember seeing the big blow up when that tour came through town,
Right.
just like in downtown,
Yeah.
like where a show was going on. I'm just like, what is happening here?
Yeah.
And I wasn't even there for the concert. I was just there. It was like around St. Patrick's Day parade, and I was there for the parade.
Right. Yeah. No, he's. I mean, I guess he's influential, at least to like the younger folks, younger crowd. So I mean, they definitely go crazy.
You know, he's named Travis Scott because he was such a big fan of Kid Cudi, and Kid Cudi's first name is Scott.
Really, I didn't know.
So
that.
that's why he's named Travis Scott.
Oh. I mean, I guess that's one way to pay homage to like somebody that really inspired you and kind of like make you want to like actually make music and like put you on that path. So yeah, shout out to Travis.
I remember I was watching this one Twitch streamer who went to high school with Travis Scott, and he was saying like, oh, he didn't really grow up like poor, like back in Texas. Like his mom had a pretty high-ranking job at AT&T.
Right.
Granted, he probably didn't know his full situation, but I don't think he grew up as impoverished.
Right. I mean, I don't know.
Now he's out here getting thrown off of rented yachts.
Oh, that actually happened.
Yeah. There's this whole story. He was like drunk on a yacht, and the owner wanted him off, and the police came up, and he was, I'm Travis Scott,
Right.
blah, blah, blah. Just not getting off the yacht.
Yeah.
And then I think eventually he got off that yacht.
Kicked him off. He was like, "Oh, you got to get off of here, bud."
I think finally he decided to get off that yacht.
Little boat.
Shout out Lil Yachty too.
Shout out.
What were you saying about celebrity-inspired products? I can't remember. I had a point there, but I totally forgot.
No.
I wanted to mention the Travis Scott and the origins of his name before I forgot that.
There was you wasn't there one that you did like you got recent? No, I think you got one recently, or was it something else? I think it was like a Burger King or McDonald's.
Oh, I got the Addams Family Burger King meal back around Halloween.
Yeah.
I got that.
Okay. How was that one?
It was pretty good. I mean, the bun was, I don't know. I feel like if you're eating things that aren't like a natural color of something, like it's not good. And the bun was purple, but I guess it was just like a potato bun. But it was okay.
Was there a lot of like food dye that you could taste in the burger itself, or no?
No, I don't know if it was actually dye or not because it was a potato bun. You know, they have those purple potatoes that you can get. I think it was based off of that.
Oh,
That's where it got its coloring from.
Okay, yeah.
But at the end of the day, it was just a standard Whopper.
Right. So it wasn't like an excessive, like
it wasn't
color.
over the top.
Okay. Yeah.
Then the thing rings that they came out with at the same time,
Mhm.
they were just regular onion rings. They're just giving them different names and not really changing anything and just
Right.
changing the packaging on them.
Yeah.
I also got the SpongeBob meal when it came out.
Mhm.
That was the pineapple frosty was really good.
Right. You had a pretty good run, it seems.
I was having a good run.
Yeah.
This is back when I was exploring different forms of content for myself,
Okay.
which I still am kind of doing
Yeah. But to a different degree.
to a different degree.
Yeah. That's cool, though.
I remember what I was going to say when you
Okay.
were talking about people buying up stuff and just inflating the price on it. All these Pokemon resellers, I can't believe Pokemon is as crazy as it is these days.
Yeah.
Just ripping card packs open, which seems really wasteful because people rip the card packs open and the first 10 cards in the pack, they don't even care about. They just throw them into the side, throw them away.
What exactly are they like necessarily looking for? Because I'm not super big into Pokemon. Like I did play a few of the games growing up, but
They're looking for holographic cards.
Right.
I'm not deep into the Pokemon like I once was back when I was 7 years old,
yeah.
but they're looking for specific holographic cards.
Okay.
In these packs, they do the trick where they rip the pack, then they flip it over so you just see like the Pokeball side on the back. Then they go like 3 cards and they stick it to the front. That way it makes the rare card, if there is one, all the way to the back.
Okay.
So it makes it like a surprise kind of thing.
I see. That's cool. The funny thing is, you mentioned that is you don't really mess with Pokemon cards anymore. You're not a kid, but there's a it seems to be like a lot of grown like men and like women that are like going after it, which is bizarre.
Oh yeah, because I feel like it's kids back in the day that were obsessed with Pokemon.
Right.
Now they're adults and they have their own money, so they can just buy whatever they want.
That's
so they're
true.
just spending it on Pokemon cards.
Is that how you feel like when you go into like a like a toy store? A lot of these toys nowadays, a lot of like Legos and stuff, like a lot of grown men are like buying those because
100%.
yeah.
I go into a toy store of some sort,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I can get all the stuff in here that I wanted to when I was a kid
Right.
and didn't have the money for it.
I don't have to ask anybody's permission. I can just go up and like, give me 3 of these, sir. That'll be $500.
If I want to go spend $80 on a Super Soaker and not think twice about it, I can. I've got just enough money to be completely irresponsible.
That's what's up. I think that's what everybody like really strives for in this day and age. So that's good.
I've been trying to be more responsible, though.
Okay, that's good.
Not that it's really been happening, but I've been trying. Do or do not, there is no try.
Yeah,
It's a Yoda quote.
yeah, you're a big Yoda fan.
I'm just kind of like a surface fan of a lot of different things.
Fair enough.
I don't deep dive too much into stuff.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I have been deep diving into.
What's that?
There's this guy on TikTok. His name is Clueless Bushcraft, I think. And he's a homesteader. He's
Right.
just been raising rabbits.
Yeah.
And one of his rabbits just had babies.
Oh,
And I'm
nice.
just very in tune to this guy's content and these baby, like 2-day-old bunnies or kits. They call them kits.
I mean, you're a big nature guy, so does that like bring you back to like nature, like like
It's just cool seeing just things in their natural state.
right?
Like, what do you think a newborn bunny looks like? Most people have no idea.
Yeah, they're like pink and hairless, right?
They're hairless.
Yeah.
The ones that he has aren't pink. They're like a brownish color.
Okay. Yeah.
And how there's just a run to the litter, and he's making sure that all the baby rabbits are getting fed,
Yeah.
but the run to the litter's not getting any. So he's pulling the rabbit aside, like the mama rabbit, and flipping her on her back and putting down the runt.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
It's really nice. I mean, that sounds like definitely like a dream thing to do.
I mean, I have zero interest in becoming a homesteader that raises rabbits, but I'll watch.
Fair enough. I mean, it's good content. I mean, it got you hooked to it, right? So
I'm addicted.
yeah.
Every morning it shows up for me. I sit at my desk every morning and I watch this guy's stuff.
Right.
Because he'll post like 2 or 3 per day.
Yeah.
So I just got to catch up.
Okay. That's what's up. So, big documentary that's coming up from CNN. It's Kobe, The Making of a Legend. It's a 3-part series that's released on January 25th. I believe it's this Saturday, right?
Yeah, because it's It's recently, I mean, February 5th.
Mhm.
February 5th?
No, no, January 25th.
Oh, 25th. Yeah, because I think that is the anniversary,
Oh,
his
really?
5-year
Yeah.
anniversary of his passing away.
Oh boy, can you believe it's already been 5 years ago?
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I've ever told you this, but I do, you know what I do for work? I do a
Right.
sales job.
Mhm.
And the time I made my first sale
Mhm.
was the time I found out Kobe Bryant passed away.
Oh wow.
And I just had such a mix of emotions at the time
Yeah.
because I was really busy and I was running around. Then I hear Kobe Bryant passed away. I'm like, no, the legend,
Yeah.
number
No,
24.
it was sad. I mean, I'm not super. You already know that I'm not a big basketball fan. But I
Yeah.
mean, even though I wasn't, I still think he made a big impact on like a lot of people. Obviously, kids in high school growing up, at least for us, you make a shot to the garbage, you yell Kobe.
Oh,
So
yeah, he was influential.
100%. So, I mean, yeah.
Almost
So-
felt like a phoenix rising from the ashes when I heard
Right.
one legend had to go so another could be born.
Do you think you're gonna check it out, or
The Kobe documentary?
Yeah.
I feel like I have to.
yeah?
What's it coming out on? Netflix or something?
Not sure. I'd have to look into that. But yeah, no, I thought I'd bring it up. I mean, it seems like it's pretty interesting. I think it's been long enough of a time
Yeah.
past. I'm sure there's been other documentaries, but I mean, this one kind of like piqued my interest.
There's probably a bunch of YouTube documentaries.
Right.
Basketball's got such a huge following.
It does.
This is just kind of independent, like YouTubers and filmmakers probably compiled a bunch of stuff together.
Which I think is really cool. It's like alternative media where you don't necessarily have to like go to like the big like, CNNs or like
Yeah.
MSNBC to like get content. You just like go to like your YouTuber that does like a deep dive into like, topics that you might be interested in. And it's just like tons of it out there.
Yeah, there's a lot of content out there.
All right.
My favorite era of Kobe Bryant is when he had the afro, and
Yeah.
they call him Froby.
Froby. Was that an actual thing?
Yeah, Froby. True Kobe Bryant fans know about that.
Okay.
Maybe you don't.
I don't. I'm
But
not
I
a big,
do.
not a big basketball kind of guy. So, but I do,
Is that why you'd always lose in 2K to me?
yeah, okay. we could play it on this podcast,
Start streaming 2K.
right? Become 2K streamers.
Have you ever been on the missed connections section of Craigslist?
I have not. No. What's that about?
So it's the weirdest thing. It's people like making it's a misconnection,
Right.
as if they were trying to connect with somebody and it didn't work out. So then they post on this Craigslist hoping that it somehow magically finds its way to this person.
You're talking about like it's like a romantic thing, or
Yes.
okay,
So I've screenshotted a couple of them.
okay, let's hear it.
So the title of this one is Rose.
Yeah.
We were chatting, having fun, but then the email stopped. Would like to pick up where we left off. Rose is the only part of your name. What is the other part of it? What else we got? This one is titled Chubby Guy in Smart Car. I saw a cute chubby guy in a smart car this afternoon. He pulled out behind me from the side street next to this bar and pulled into the gas station around 3:45 p.m. today. I'd love to find who this cute guy is.
Ooh, chubby chaser. I like that.
Just a fat guy in a smart car.
Us big guys are getting love out there. I like to see it.
I mean, he likes to eat and he's environmentally friendly. What more can you ask for in a man?
It's beautiful.
All right. Here's another one. This one gets a little weird. Stoplight. We waved and smiled at each other at a stoplight in this town. I tried to follow you into a retail parking lot and leave a note on your car when I saw you walking into a store, but I couldn't find your car. Tell me what store you went into. I'd love to get together.
I wonder if any of those ever actually came to be.
That's what I'm thinking. I wonder if there's ever been any successful Craigslist misconnection
Right.
reconnections.
You think you consider those people as like really go-getters or just like really thirsty? for that person?
Uh, I mean, probably kind of not either.
Yeah.
They were too scared to actually make the connection, which no shame on you.
Right.
But then they just go and they post on Craigslist,
Of all places,
a very
Craigslist.
outdated website.
Hoping that they could find, the love of their life. Oh man. Why Craigslist? There's like so many better alternatives. I don't know, Facebook, Instagram.
I'm sure you could just post that on Facebook and your aunt will try to hook you up with her like veterinary's assistant or something like that.
Or even like Reddit. People on Reddit, they could find anybody. So
Yeah.
but that's pretty cool though. I think in a weird, creepy way, but
There's this other guy I like to watch on TikTok. His
Right.
name's Jose Monkey. So what people do is they'll take just an obscure video of themselves just somewhere. They'll just be in a parking lot in the middle of this random city. They'll just be like, Jose Monkey, find me.
Right.
Then he'll like go through his process of how he finds where this person was.
I think I saw it. I might have seen that video. I think he did like a girl that was staying in like a hotel in like Italy or something
it's stuff
that.
like that.
Yeah.
He'll just analyze what he sees in the video.
Mhm.
He'll be like, okay, in the background, I can see what it looks like to be an Illinois license plate.
Right.
And I can tell that they're at a Sunoco gas station. So I searched all the Sunoco gas stations in the Illinois area.
Right.
Then I also saw this weird pattern of 3 trees. So then I just kind of Googled weird patterns, with trees near a Sunoco gas station. And then he just eventually finds them.
Do you think like people like that should be like working for like the FBI or CIA?
I feel as if anybody who had the time and more than just the average intelligence
Right.
could probably figure it out.
I don't know, man. There's a lot of smart people out there. I mean, I definitely couldn't do that. So, I mean, more power to him.
Speaking of smart people,
Mhm.
how do you feel about Elon Musk getting kind of dragged through the mud right now?
I did see that. I saw it from like both like angles, where they're like, oh, it's the Roman salute and not the other one. But I mean, when I watched it initially, it kind of looked like, the big no-no that you're not supposed to do. But, as I like researched it and looked through it, I mean, I saw it and I was just like, I don't know. I personally don't really care that much. But I mean, obviously a lot of people, we have friends that care.
Yeah.
So, I've definitely been seeing that going around a lot.
I think it's a big stretch
Right.
as to what it actually was.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't think he was paying any homage to
Yeah.
any past historical dictators.
Right. So I don't know.
I personally don't think so.
It's a big thing on social media right now.
Yeah.
I think that kind of like that situation kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of just like covered like the whole entire inauguration and not, not really shed much light on like, Trump just going into office. So it kind of took away from that situation.
The actual of what's going on.
Right.
It seems like people just want to grab onto anything and just cling on to that. And, well, look at this.
Right.
Look at this.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what else happened. Look at this.
I think it's also a lot of people just don't like Elon and like what he's doing and like how is on X he's just trying to make it like free speech, and a lot of people just don't like the things that he's saying and like how he's going about like running his business. So
Isn't that what free speech is, though?
yeah,
Speaking freely.
right. So hey,
Oh, Elon.
yeah,
I mean, at the end of the day, I just find it entertaining. I'm pretty neutral. I don't lean towards one side either way.
right.
I just want to be entertained.
Yeah,
Just keep it going.
I agree with you 100%. I try not to like go and pick a side. I just gotta just like stay in the middle and like find the facts.
You can't drink the Kool-Aid. You kind of just got to watch from the bleachers and
Right.
take the ride for what it is.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, where you can't really change much as a whole as an individual, some people can, some people can't. You kind of just got to just ride the waves, man.
Go with the flow.
Just riding the waves of life and letting the surf blank me off.
Speaking of the inauguration, you heard that Trump rescinded 78 of Biden's executive orders recently.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of them that he just did not agree with.
Right.
And I think it's kind of crazy that you can just come in and I didn't even do any research into what they were, but you can just come in and abolish anything.
Exactly. I don't know. I think it's weird. I think one of the big topics right now that's going on is about the birthright citizenship thing, where it's just like, if you were born on U.S. soil, then you automatically become like a U.S. citizen. And I think I don't know. It's interesting to see. Essentially, I get why he's doing it, but I also get how a lot of people could take it the wrong way.
You think we could find a loophole in that? You just mail a box of soil you dug up in your backyard to your like your cousin in another country.
They give birth on that soil. You're a citizen of U.S. now.
Listen, it says it right here in black and white. Must be born on U.S. soil. We can get this tested from the Geologic Survey, find out exactly where it came from.
I mean, I understand where he's coming from. There's a lot of like people that that do come here that on like visas and stuff and have children, and I think they use that as like a sort of like a loophole to essentially secure their way into the U.S. Which I don't necessarily have a particular say or care about it. I just think it was interesting.
Just be a good person.
Yeah,
that's all I care about.
Right.
You guys can come chill. Just pay your taxes.
Right. Be a good person to your community, essentially.
Yeah, just do like some community service.
Right.
Help out down at the food pantry or something. Another thing I've been hearing a lot, in the kind of business that I do, we deal with a fair amount of Canadian folks.
Okay.
And the Canadian exchange rate's just been tanking recently. A lot of Canadians don't want to spend money in the U.S. because their dollar is just not worth as much as it was at one point.
That's unfortunate. So what does that mean for you in your industry? So not as much, like sales and stuff?
I mean, less of a Canadian customer base,
right?
Which isn't a huge deal.
Okay.
But at the same point, like, what's that doing for the U.S. in general? What aren't Canadians going to come down here and purchase from us anymore?
Okay. That's interesting.
All right, we're getting a little too political here. It's been snowing in Florida.
I was thinking about that today, and I was like, imagine like leaving like a cold place and just going to like northern Florida. You get there and it's just completely covered in snow.
Yeah, people don't know what to do when it snows down there.
Right.
I saw it was a news segment from down in Florida. It's this newscaster, and she's saying, yeah, you can just use an empty soda bottle to clean off your car.
Like, what?
Just get a broom. You must have brooms down there.
Just like brooms, just cleaning empty soda bottle. What?
Dude, it snowed the other day up here. I was in Boston, and I was at this hotel, and it was 8 o'clock in the morning or whatever, 7:30. I had to go out, clean off my car. It was freezing rain right before.
Yeah.
And it's super windy in Boston. I was near like the port or whatever.
Right.
And it's just whipping wind. And I'm cleaning my car off. I'm just like, this sucks. Why do I live here? Well, not that I live in Boston, but why do I live in this area of the country? It's so cold.
So yeah, I was thinking about that. I was wondering how many how much inches they got up there.
It's about 4 inches or so, I want to say. It was super windy, so there was some snow drifts and whatnot.
Right.
But just so cold.
So did that cause like a lot of obviously traffic bans, but was there like a lot of traffic or?
So it started snowing around 7, 8 o'clock.
All right.
So it really just snowed overnight. By 6 a.m., the snow was done with.
Okay.
So a lot of people weren't traveling, and it was also the weekend.
Yeah.
So it didn't really screw up travel as much. But I could tell that, like, there's just so much salt in the city of Boston I was driving around and there's just piles of salt in the middle of the roads,
Really?
which I get. You guys got to make sure people aren't slipping and sliding around with
Right.
the bad weather. But there's just salt everywhere.
Yeah, that's also not super good for your cars either.
It's not good for your cars. It's not good for the environment.
Yeah. Salty Boston.
Salty Boston.
But
I'm sad. The PBS documentary
Mhm.
that I was in for eating oysters in Boston
yeah.
got taken down off the PBS
Oh, no,
website.
they took it down.
My one claim to fame.
How long was it up there? Like 2 or 3 years at least, right?
I think 3 years.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to write into PBS.
Just write in. It's like, oh, you guys think I could get a clip of that?
You guys think you can send me a VHS version?
Where do you even find a VHS anymore?
Goodwill.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably the only place, honestly.
Dude, I was still watching VHSs until 2012.
Really?
I had dial-up internet at the time.
Yeah.
So whenever I didn't have the internet,
Mhm.
I would just watch VHSs because I
Yeah.
just got so bored. I watched all the DVDs that I had.
Yeah.
So I was going back to old VHS tapes of just taped things from television
Mhm.
from the early 2000s. I remember watching Freaks and Geeks and just
Yeah.
seeing the commercials.
Did you what do you think it's gonna be? That could be like a big thing to come back. You know how like vinyl has been like a super big thing, where like Newberry Comics they're selling like a crap ton of like vinyls and people are like really interested in it. You think that's gonna be a thing where like people just buy VHS players?
People
and-
start watching VHSs
Yeah.
again. If that's a thing, then I think I've struck it rich with the amount of VHS tapes I've got.
They make like 4K VHS.
It is kind of a thing. I saw some wedding video the other day where they're recording it on a 4K camera or an iPhone or something.
Right.
Then they cut to and they're recording it on like an old camcorder.
Oh, nice,
People
yeah.
are liking the old grainy look of stuff.
Yeah, I noticed that. I've been getting a lot of ads, just like people want to go back to how, like, the disposable cameras are, that kind of like that authentic look that it sort of gave.
Yeah. My sister got a Polaroid camera for Christmas.
Right.
They've modernized the Polaroid camera,
Mm-hmm.
and then just the film for them is super expensive now.
Really? Oof. I know you could buy like attachment for like the cameras that we use to shoot. Like you could buy like an attachment. It kind of gives you that same like effect.
And it prints it out. You got to take the Polaroid and shake it.
Well, I don't know about the printing part out, but like it's still a digital photo, but you kind of just screw on a particular lens and it kind of gives you that look.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
So do you think the AI is eventually going to take over?
What, like Skynet?
Something like that. Like iPhone just introduced their own version of AI where it summarizes your text messages and
Right.
everything.
Yeah, I have seen that.
And I don't know if I like that or not.
I don't like it because that means that it's actually reading your text messages and like everything that you say, and that's going to be stored on like some database that they're going to use to like train their AI.
But what are they doing with all this data? Just training AI?
Training, yeah, and like machine learning. And it's just like, yeah, I don't want some machine learning about what I had for breakfast or what my girl picked up from the store.
But what are they going to do with that information? She picked up egg whites
Right.
and diapers at 5:22 at the grocery store.
It's just gonna just like a big server somewhere, just like storing all that data. Just
They
like,
sell the information at Walmart. Diapers sell the best at 5:22 p.m. You should
Yeah.
run specials on diapers at this time.
right. Kind of just like how you just search something up on your phone once and then you just get like a crap ton of ads from it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just gonna use that with just like text message info that's like saved on like some server in like India.
I had my AirPods in today, and somebody started talking about Chuck E. Cheese, not even next to me, like the next room over.
Right.
And then 30 minutes later, I get a TikTok about Chuck E. Cheese.
Right.
It's just how well can this thing hear?
Obviously pretty good. But to take it back to your AI question. I mean, I think it's becoming such a big part of our life. A lot of people are like using it in like offices and,
Yeah.
even in like their day-to-day lives. And it's getting to the point where it's sort of like scary. Like I'm pretty sure we've talked about like seeing like the different like videos on like YouTube where you can't necessarily tell like what you're looking at. Is this real or is this like computer generated?
Yeah, it's making
Yeah.
computer generated videos.
Right.
You can use that to frame people
Mm-hmm.
of crimes and things.
There's just like even voices, It's like a rap beef that just happened.
I do like when people take the AI and they'll call Pizza Hut as
Mhm.
Nicki Minaj.
Yeah.
It's like, this is Nicki Minaj. I want a large pepperoni right now. I'm not going to say it again. This is Nicki Minaj.
I haven't seen that, but that sounds hilarious.
It's so funny. They use so many different characters. People do Sonic or who's a Shadow from Sonic?
Yeah.
Like his alter ego.
Right.
I don't know anything about Sonic. Just like, this is Shadow. Just talking all arrogant. Get me a pepperoni pizza right now.
You got to send me those videos, man. That sounds pretty good.
It's so funny. It's some app that people will get on their phone. Then they'll just take it on their phone, put it right next to it. And then it'll just be the character and the person that Pizza Hut will pick up. Just
Right.
go, hello, this is Pizza Hut. What can I get started for you? And then like it'll hear it and then it'll think and then it'll spit something back at them.
Okay. Just like with that voice. talking.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
There's good and there's bad
Yeah.
of the AI. Some of the good being prank calls to your local pizza joint.
Been seeing a lot of bad recently.
You ever seen the calls where people they'll use two phones and they'll call two separate Chinese restaurants?
Yes, I was just gonna mention that. That video is hilarious, man. They're just both arguing with each other. It's like, no, you called me. Like back and forth.
I remember I used to go to summer camp
Mhm.
and it was at this park that we used to go to. So we just hang out at the park all day. So the ice cream man would come around. And one year there's the war of the ice cream men because there's two different ice cream trucks.
Right.
And they just fought for the business because there was a ton of kids at the park and everybody bought ice cream every day because it was the middle of summer and it's hot. So the camp counselors had to get involved. They had to intervene and set a schedule for the ice cream trucks to come.
Well, they get bombarded by a bunch of kids.
No, they would beef with each other because they would both show up at the
okay.
same time.
Yeah.
Like, F this guy. I'm gonna
It's like a
I'm gonna
turf
get all
war.
the business. Yeah, it was a turf war of ice cream men. It was crazy. And I think they kind of eventually figured out that they went too far
Right.
and they ruined it for
Yeah.
themselves because they started feeling bad and they started giving out like sodas and stuff for free.
Oh man, warring ice cream truck guys.
The war of the ice cream
Dude,
trucks.
that could be like a movie or something.
Two ice cream men battling.
Right. Sort of like that meme where it's just like the FedEx or like the UPS guys that are like beefing.
It's on site.
Right.
The FedEx versus the Amazon guy.
But yeah, that's cool. You heard about Leandro Ball signing an $8 million contract?
It's crazy how he's blowing up.
Right.
He just wasn't that great of an NBA player.
Mhm.
Went to some D League team.
Right.
Just like, screw this. I'm going to start rapping.
So,
And he just caught the wave.
so apparently he signed with Def Jam and Universal Music Group. Apparently, it's the deal is worth up to $13 million with $8 million guaranteed. So
He's
that's
going
good
to
for
tore
him.
off that one song.
Yeah, I mean that kind of like leads me into like my question. Where it's just like he's retaining like ownership for the music and his like record label. So do you think that he's essentially gonna like you think he has like the staying power to like make another hit? And considering that he owns like the rights to his music, like how like Chance the Rapper or like Tyler the Creator, you think
Yeah.
that's gonna help him have more like musical influence over like what he puts out, or you think it's just gonna be that one song and he's just gonna ride the wave going forward?
Two things. I think just with the way his family is, his father is a very smart businessman, it
very
seems.
business savvy, yeah.
So I think he's definitely going to have his mentorship along the way in the music career, even though that's not really an avenue that his father's gone down before.
Right.
But I mean, business is business at the end of the day. So I think he's going to be one of those TikTok rappers almost.
Yeah. I feel like yeah, I'm sorry.
He's just going to, you're going to hear his songs and different TikToks to people dancing and stuff. Not to say he's not going to come out with a hot album at some point, but I
Right.
don't foresee him being one of those rappers.
Yeah, and I think a lot of like artists nowadays, it's been going on for the last like few years. Like they create like a song that they know it's gonna blow up on TikTok, and they kind of like ride that wave to like sell singles and like
Yeah.
move like merchandise.
Watch, he's gonna be opening up for Lil Uzi Vert this summer.
Right. I mean, that'd be interesting. It is a good song, you know, it's super nostalgic. I know we definitely talked about it a few pods back,
Yeah.
but yeah. I mean, that's good for him, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, if you can find another avenue that's not basketball.
Right. You know, he's making money, so that's good.
You ever heard Damian Lillard rap? He's
Yeah.
actually pretty good.
I've heard a few songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Damian Lillard's a much better basketball player.
Is he as good rapping as he is as good, you know, playing basketball?
On the court?
Yeah.
I'd say he's multi-talented.
Right.
I mean, if he wanted to break off and do a music career, he probably could. He
Mhm.
probably wouldn't hit as many pinnacles as this Jello Ball song is hitting right now on TikTok. But I mean, he's got some skills.
Yeah.
He's good on the mic.
I think that's really nice that, you know, going playing in the NBA and like getting out at some point, you know, a lot of like players, especially like the NFL and NFL they don't really necessarily have, you know, any other skills. And I think it's just interesting, you know, having someone that's like so multi-talented.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, being able to like branch out and like, sort of like continue their career paths.
It's like who used to be he was on the Carolina Panthers. He was the quarterback for them.
I'm not sure.
Not Marshawn Lynch. The heck is his name?
Let's check it out. Let's see.
Let's hit the Google. Carolina Panthers. He was in a Super Bowl. Super Bowl.
Let's look.
Denver Broncos defeated. Who was their quarterback in this? Stadium, favorite, referee, national anthem, Lady Gaga. Dang, Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga making moves.
Super Bowl. Oh, God. Oh, God. My phone's making me do random stuff. Stop. Oh, God. It keeps wanting me to download Google. The AI is taking over.
Yeah, he's controlling the phones. I hate when that happens, where you're just like looking for something, you click it, and it just opens up the app store. Now you got to like download something just to like view what you wanted to look for on like the actual browser.
Cam Newton.
Cam Newton? Yeah.
Cam Newton was the quarterback.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, he has a podcast.
Yeah, he just does content now.
Yeah.
Like Patrick Beverly's got a podcast. Everybody's doing podcasts.
Yeah.
Why are we getting hated on?
That's the way. I don't know.
They at least had NBA and NFL careers.
They had a fan base. We're just coming up from the bottom. We started from the bottom.
Oh, man. I find it so funny. Well, let me read some of our hate comments.
Oh, man.
Man, that's deep crap right there. Got me thinking. This seems like the most boring podcast I've ever seen. Why the F do guys like these have a podcast? Yikes, this is a podcast people listen to? Please stop podcasting. Just lost a few brain cells on this clip.
Well, thanks for watching and leaving comments. That means a lot to us.
Yeah, keep them coming. People are so mean on the internet.
Especially mean on TikTok, but you know.
I don't care. Doesn't bother me. It's just funny that somebody takes the time out of their day.
Right.
It's like, screw these dudes.
I'm glad we're affecting your life in a positive manner or not so positive, but either way.
Hopefully you learned something today. Either you earn or you learn.
Exactly.
Do you think the internet's making us smarter or dumber?
I think it depends on how you utilize it, because if you're just sitting there just like watching reels or like, you know, TikToks over and over again, I mean, sure, you might learn something in between that.
I've learned a lot about baby bunnies.
Well, there you go. You learned that. But I don't know. It's just, I feel like just sitting there on your phone all the time and just scrolling, you could be doing something better. You know, you could be like bettering yourself.
Just doom scrolling.
Yeah. Just like learning like a trade or just like reading, you know.
Reading.
I think it definitely has its pros and cons, in my opinion.
There is a STEM section of TikTok.
Is there?
Yeah, you think anybody ever goes on there?
I didn't even know about it, so obviously not.
Science, technology, engineering, mathematics.
Yeah,
Just people doing math equations.
I didn't know that.
Wish that was around back when I was in school.
So
So that I had conic atomy.